Hello and welcome back to the Generational Podcast. This is episode 48, pretty sure,
Yeah, I think. I think
because
it's 48.
we did 47 and the file corrupted.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it seems a lot of that stuff happens to us all the time.
yeah.
We're just not techies, or somebody better than us is better than us at stopping us from uploading. Tinfoil!
Those are some crazy theories.
Crazy conspiracies right there.
But never out of the realm of possibilities.
Well, I mean, I heard that Apple got hacked. I've heard that T-Mobile got hacked, or like not hacked, but they like released people's information or something way back. And
Yeah.
like I never like, I have security for stuff like that, but
Okay.
everybody knows that doesn't work. I mean, all of it anything can be, and these days anybody can get into anything. So there's teeners.
Yeah. What's interesting
Walk right across
is
the cat.
people, those companies, they sell information for profit. Just like how you say okay to an app, right? And they're like, we're going to give your information away so they could target the ads that you get.
Mm.
So the same thing is when you speak into a phone and you're like, baby clothes, baby clothes, baby clothes. And at some point, you're going to get baby clothes ads.
On your Facebook, on your Instagram, whatever.
And then they might actually send you mail
Like,
and discounts for baby clothes.
it's crazy at like how much everybody can get information from you these days,
Yeah, you're monitored.
all the time.
But
It's crazy. But I mean,
would it get worse over time in the future?
I mean,
Will it get to the point where they're tracking every poop you make?
they probably already are. The whole point is like, because if you're wearing one of those watches, it's got your heart beat. It can tell when you're nervous. It monitors every little thing about your body, and then you're recording it, and then they're uploading it, and then they can, like, there's good things and bad things from it, right?
Well, one of the good things is you can catch your partner cheating, if you have one of those watches.
How?
A spike at 3 a.m.
Oh, you're silly, dude.
on a vacation
Oh,
somewhere.
come on, okay.
On a work
This
vacation?
guy.
Come
now
on.
you should put on the tinfoil hat. There, but
You know, it already happened.
I mean, I don't know.
So.
I think that a lot of the technology we have now is like a slow grip around the neck of control. Sooner or later, like right now, we can shut a lot of stuff off, or we at least believe that we can, but you really can't.
No, not really.
From what I've been told, like even a phone that's shut off can still be traced. I don't know if they can still hear things from it.
Well,
be
they
weird
say
if
that
they
they could hear things off of any kind of metal.
That's weird. I'd have to look into some stuff like that, but I mean, it's possible. I mean, just like there's, people are like, I was watching a video the other day that it said that Nikola Tesla, was the first one to create a direct energy weapon.
And Wi-Fi.
That's amazing. And I heard he like made some stuff that he would make the earth shake,
Yeah.
like buildings.
With vibrations.
That's nuts,
And he
And
would
all
do
this was-
demonstrations out in the city.
I don't know. I think these days it seems like there are less and less thinkers and more like
And
worker bees.
just then you said direct energy weapons. And when you think of a direct energy weapon, like just direct energy weapon, it just doesn't come to mind. But an everyday use of a direct energy weapon is like welding.
Yeah, that's pretty much complete energy coming through there. But it's, I mean, it's a welder, so I mean.
So, did you happen to recently hear that Biden is getting a whole bunch of charges coming at him and his whole entire family
Well, I think
for having shell companies, for working with foreign companies, from taking bribery money, and seems to pop up and
well, Joe Rogan, Tim Dillon, and Alex
Jones.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. The prophet.
Yeah. Well, they had 2 year ago. They had a podcast, and they had talked about the same stuff that we talked about. But you and I have been talking about this for more than 2 years, way more than 2 years.
Yeah, definitely.
And
especially in our own private time.
oh yeah, because we've seen the connections. It's very simple. when you work like the FBI and you follow the money,
Mhm.
you can easily find everything you need to find and who's guilty. It's not hard.
Right.
It's really, and that people want to turn a blind eye from it because they're making money from it, and that's what I believe. If you're ignoring what's going on in our country right now, then you're helping.
Well,
You're
I would
helping
say
this.
that they're not citizens at that point.
Well, they're
Being a
It's-
part of a citizen is taking accountability for your nation
yeah, and helping your nation,
and helping
right?
your nation and calling out what's wrong in your nation. That's what a citizen does.
Especially an American citizen because we have that First Amendment.
Right. You're supposed to be
Speak it up.
outspoken.
Yeah, and I think what was that quote I wanted to say? I want to see if it's here, really quick. I know.
You know, all of these charges that's going to Biden, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this presidency.
Sorry.
I have no idea what's going to happen to Joe Biden because, well, he hasn't been impeached, but we know Trump has, so I have no real idea if he's going to be president in the next month or so, or if he's going to be replaced.
I think that if all of it, we already have all the evidence of what's going on. We know that he's worked with other people and other families in American government in order to get money. Biden is not the only one that's taking money.
But the thing is, don't they have to go after Biden first to make sure that he can't pardon any of his family members?
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's what they have to do. But here's what I think about Biden, though. He's not all there. He's not there. Like, what are you gonna? It's everybody that's handling him around him is just as guilty as he is.
Have you
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody.
Could you speak a little more about that, please?
What do you mean by speak a little more about it? It's
Because
just,
I have a video
oh yeah.
for me to share.
Okay.
And it's Joe Biden asking what to say from someone else.
Here's a quote. Our society is so dumbed down and indoctrinated that anyone who's a critical thinker is perceived as a conspiracy theorist. Like, critical thinking is wrong.
Could you say that one more time? I'd like to hear it again.
Our society is so dumbed down and indoctrinated that anyone who's a critical thinker is perceived as a conspiracy theorist. You only have to make connections, and it's not conspiracy when it's real. The people that are saying conspiracy are just, they're feeling embarrassed because they voted for a meat puppet. And then they expected this meat puppet to help them out. And he's done nothing but destroy the country. And the other thing is, you got guys. There are people out there that are like, Joe Biden's a better president than Trump because when I wake up, I don't feel threatened by what he says on Twitter. First of all, if you feel threatened by what he says on Twitter, I want to know where you live so I can send some goons to your house, so they can just like every month just take money from you because you're such a little bitch. Like, straight up. Like, you are so soft that you make Charmin
Ultra soft?
look like it's fucking steel. That's how soft you are. Okay? Oh my god, I can't believe it. Trump's tweets just hurt me. Oh my god. He's tweeting. Well, don't read it, dipshit.
Right.
Get rid of his handle on Twitter. I mean, you don't have to hear what Trump says. And then the fact that the thing that gets me the most are people are so weak, right? There are such weak people out there that they'll let somebody like Trump make a tweet and that affects them physically. You're that weak, bro. You know, we don't need you when it comes down to the wire. We know what you're going to do. You're going to turn tail and run. So when it comes down to putting nuts on the line, you ain't got none. And that's a dude saying that shit to a bunch of girls. And them girls were like, what? I couldn't believe it, man. The stuff I see online just kind of makes me more and more disappointed that y'all giving these fake fluff-ass, tushy, tongue-licking the microphone. And they really think that they're like somebody. Like, dude, you're soft. Soft, soft, soft. I'm sick and tired of these soft ass dudes. I'm glad Strickland's the UFC champ right now. I want to hear everything that man says is true. Everything he says is true. Soft ass Americans. Like, soft, man. Go get a job. Go work somewhere tough. Stop crying like a little bitch and hanging around with females. Bro. If you're gay, be gay, but be manly about your gay shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? Be like what do you call it? That what do you call them? The Roman or Greek gays where they were fighting on the front line and shit. Be that guy. But instead, you want to be fluff. Oh, Trump's tweets hurt me. Oh, jeez, I can't believe that shit. As a matter of fact, anybody. Listen, you realize, son? Do you realize the type of shit people go through when they turn around and say they blame it on their past?
No.
Oh, people will be like, "Oh, I got picked on in fucking third grade by Jimmy, and that affected me so deeply, and now I'm distraught, and that's the way I am today." No, the way you are today is because you're a little fucking pussy. You didn't get up and dust yourself off and carry on. And you sit there and you make excuses for your piss poor attitude towards people, your piss poor performance in your life, and you want to try and blame it on somebody that touched your willy or somebody that pushed you around back in the day. Dude, I'm sick and tired of shit like this, dude. You know, I really am. Like,
you need to get over the trauma.
Get over your shit, dude. Seriously, get over your shit. Stop blaming past bullshit for your future fuck-ups. Like, I'm sick of it, bro. Like, I got molested. I got molested at 12 years old. I got molested again at like 9. Then I got molested at 5. 3 different times. It felt good. It didn't fuck me up. I understand that those people were fucked up, but I wasn't going to let them fuck me up. Excuse my loud language. I'm sorry. I know the school's probably going to threaten to kick you out now because I cussed online.
I don't think it matters much because I didn't do it.
I didn't sign anything, Madison did, because I'm too vocal. I said, I can't sign that.
You weren't supposed to cuss, Dad.
I'm trying not to, but, you know, today kind of, like, I got a little triggered today because I saw that guy, and I'm just sick and tired of people blaming their past experiences. Dude, I got physically abused by my father. If you don't believe me, the records are in Linden, Kansas. You can go look that shit up. It's public records. You could probably see my butt at like 9 years old or 10 years old, and I had black and blue marks from the bottom of my ankles clear up to the middle part of my back. He beat me with a belt with my name on it. Literally said Steve, Steve on it. You know, here I am. I had to deal with all that shit. All of it. You know, my stepdad was probably the only person in my life that was a tough enough individual that would get me through that stuff.
Okay. So,
tough love, baby.
I was searching what Joe Biden asked about and what to say next, right? So what came up was Joe Biden completely forgetting what he was talking about in a speech 2 years ago. And then it comes up a mistake where in 2020 he said that he was running for Senate.
Yeah,
and then there's a few that says he's Joe Biden.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Joe Biden. See, that's another thing is like this guy has been up there and
the "you ain't black" quote.
Yeah, that was really
that was bad.
That was really bad. And have you seen all this stuff going on right now? The stuff is nuts right now. People are crazy.
But earlier you were talking about trauma, and
yeah.
I will say that some trauma does stick, right? And
I think it's more or less excuses. In my opinion, I'm no professional, I'm just an idiot. And I've been through a lot of trauma. I just got hard, man. I didn't act like a little punk. And I'm not going to, I have anger issues today because my biological father beat me, or I was picked on in high school, which I was picked on in high school, but The reason why I have anger issues is because you pissed me off and I want to bust your ass.
So what
like,
I say is, since you already had your piece, right? What I want, like,
you want to fight or something?
No.
Talking to me about having my piece?
No. Well, I was just saying that people need to know their piece, right? They need to understand martial arts. And if they do understand martial arts, they could go get over those traumas. Because martial arts takes discipline, right? It grows some tough skin on you.
I see where you're
So if you have some tough skin on you and through martial arts you've been through worse, right? Then you can get over those traumas and live a life where you're not scared of anyone. Or if you're not scared of a situation or seeing a family member die in front of you, right? Now,
see,
you
that's
have something
different.
to do.
That's different. That's different.
But
like if
that's
somebody,
trauma still.
that's okay. Well, we're talking about two different traumas here. If you've been raped, or if you saw somebody die in front of you, or you've killed somebody, that's different trauma. I'm talking about people saying, "Oh, I got picked on in high school, and that's why I am the way I am today."
Okay.
That's bullshit.
I thought you were talking about
no,
all trauma.
I'm glad we can because that's a good thing because there's a difference. Like the levels of the shit. Like it seems like everybody wants to have attention and then make excuses and blame somebody else for the way that they are now. That's a cop out.
Okay.
Like I get it. Like there are bad things that happen to everybody. People die. You see people die. That's a different type of trauma. It's hard to sleep at night for shit like that. I get that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these soft ass people that are sitting there talking about their mom and dad spanked them, so now they're messed up.
Okay, so
right? No, you
okay.
know, these soft.
They're little traumas.
And then they're saying that they have big trauma from it. That's so stupid.
So there's a difference between big trauma and little trauma.
Yeah, instead
right?
of saying it's all trauma, it's bullshit. There's some stuff that
if you see your mom and dad die in front of you, that's big trauma.
Big trauma, yeah.
But
that might take some years to get over. I could understand people feeling that way.
But then the other side is the little trauma, which is, I got bullied when I was little.
Yeah.
And I still can't get over it.
Is that you?
No.
Okay.
I got bigger, stronger, and I learned martial arts.
See, there's a difference. Like I just don't like it when grown ass adults sit there and blame everything on somebody else. Like you're an adult.
Own up.
Own up to your shit. Like being a piece of shit is just own up to it. I'm a piece of shit.
If you're not like a functional, person.
I believe I'm a piece of shit sometimes, I'm a horrible person. I have Tourette's when I drive. Okay? I'm a Tourette's driver. Like, someone will cut me off, and I'm so glad that I have tinted windows and stuff because I go full Tourette's. Fuck you! And then I look over and I'll be like, talking to Owen. He's like, "Are you all right, Dad?" And that's just... I don't have trauma from that, but, I mean, it's just one of those things.
It's a tick.
It is a tick. I do, and it's a trigger. It's a trigger. I'm using
all
these words that are triggered. No, it just pissed me off.
Right, and you're right. You say, yeah, you're right.
I think
earlier that misunderstanding would be really bad.
Oh yeah, there'd be a lot of hate in the comments. And I'm sure somebody will probably clip and then put it out there just to make me look bad.
But you're always supposed to look at the whole entire product.
And I get it. You had a good point.
It's a hook.
It's a hook.
It's a hook.
Good publicity, bad publicity, still publicity.
Yeah.
Except I noticed recently that this I made a comment.
Okay.
On Instagram about a lady who happens to be black. And she was shoplifting alcohol while pregnant.
Alcohol while pregnant?
Yeah.
While pregnant. Okay.
We're talking, this is a stellar lady.
Okay. All right.
And she was in the car with police officers telling her to get out of the car. She wouldn't get out of the car. She stepped on the gas. Police officers shot her dead. BLM started their
so, what was she drunk?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
She was just stealing, and she didn't want to get caught, and she decided that she was just going to try and run over a police officer.
Okay, from the first aspect of when you explained it, I thought that she was just running away from police. I think
No.
that she was like trying to run over them.
Well, the guy was in front of her and he had the gun and he's telling her to get out of the car. And then there's another police officer next to her on her driver's side window and he's saying, "Get out of the car." You
so
know?
there's non-lethal and lethal, right?
Well, they're saying like, "Hey, don't leave."
Okay.
And she didn't listen, and they try to say that her foot slipped and hit the gas. Well, first of all, you didn't listen, and then her parents come out and say that she needs justice, and that they said a bunch of stuff, and I was just like, right? She does need justice. Her parents need to be arrested because first of all, you raised someone to be a heathen. She's pregnant and shoplifting alcohol. Like, I could understand if she was pregnant and shoplifting Pampers because she didn't have money for the baby or something like that.
But alcohol?
Alcohol. And then she wasn't listening or respecting police officers and she almost ran one over. The parents should be arrested because they didn't raise a proper human being. They decided to raise somebody that didn't have respect for the rule of law, that didn't have respect for the business, that didn't have respect for the people in the area, because when you steal and stuff like that, sales tax goes up, right? It doesn't get taken away from the big business. Big businesses don't give a crap. They'll sit there and they'll say, "Oh, make them pay more taxes, more taxes." The big businesses never pay more taxes. They just increase the sales tax on the people in the area. So you're eventually just and rich people like it, especially in California. If you're out there stealing in California, you're doing the globalist and the super rich a favor, because what you're doing is effectively killing your own self in that area, your own people on your poverty level.
But on the other hand, if you stop buying the product, then it's hurting the rich.
Exactly. But if you're stealing it, all you're doing is increasing the sales tax in that given area. Or they're going to close the business down. If they close down stores, then you can't go get any food. If you can't go get any food, you got to leave somewhere else. If you leave somewhere else, rich people come in and buy
they
it.
close down the stores in the area because the
Gentrification.
stores are buying the products from them.
Gentrification. Just like this BLM stuff. The BLM is completely like, who owns BLM? Who funds BLM?
Was it George Soros?
George Soros. Why would a multi-billionaire be funding groups like BLM?
Well,
Why?
Because he wants an agenda out.
Oh, no. It's deeper than that. It's not an agenda. He doesn't care about agendas. He says that, but it's not about agendas.
What about chaos?
It's about chaos. It's about destroying the neighborhood in the area so him and his buddies can go and buy up real estate. He's using the hate that people have for each other and police officers against each other, against the people in the area, just to get them out of the area so he can buy up shit. It's amazing to me that the African American people and the Mexican people and the barrios and the hoods are falling in line with this shit. Like, I thought people were a lot smarter than that.
Okay, yeah.
Right? It gets like, it's all connected and it's all about haves and have-nots. And if you're sitting here and you're yelling at somebody because of their color,
so
you're part of the problem, bro.
So let me put this in perspective. If a rich guy, right, wants property to go down, he pushes drugs, he pushes cigarettes, he pushes stuff to break the nuclear family.
100%.
And then he puts an agenda, splits the family up, and then gives them education that's wrong.
But wait, stop. So if we split the family up, right, and that effectively takes the male out of the household. So when the male gets split up out of the household, he gets mad at the wife, something happens, she cheats on him, something goes down. He goes, he robs a store, does something, he gets money or does something, and he goes to jail.
Chaos.
Guess what? Guess who owns the jail? The same rich people that are pushing the music. The same rich people that are pushing those TVs or movies, those evil ass movies. The same rich people that are making you buy into these organizations in order to destroy your own hood, your own area, your own neighborhood.
And that's
so you
exactly
come in and
what
buy
I'm
it and
saying.
gentrify it and get it out. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that this is happening, man.
And
keep going with it.
After
Keep going.
they do it, they buy up your land, they buy up your kids, as a matter of fact. And then what they do is they act like you said earlier, you pluck a chicken's feathers, right? And then at a certain point, that chicken is gonna have nothing, and then when you start feeding it little bits, it's gonna praise you because you're giving them something.
So tell me, what's that little bit that they feed them?
Funding.
It's called welfare.
Welfare? Yeah, stumps.
That's
checks.
a little bit. That's just enough to keep you at that line and not making any more. And that means that if you stay at that line, you are not intermingling with the rich.
And that creates a class divide.
Class divide big time. And there's no middle class anymore. Like they've effectively started to destroy the middle class. And they've done that for a reason, because middle class people were starting to move up in family wealth. The only way they can destroy that is by dividing the family and dividing the wealth. And then if they divide the wealth, then they take that wealth.
I heard that in California, a normal house, a normal cookie cutter house, is more than $500,000.
Usually, yeah. It gets really expensive.
So isn't that what the middle class usually has?
Well,
a cookie cutter house, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
and
but now you have to be pretty much like above middle class to have one of those.
And that
you gotta rent.
divides, right? And now you have to rent, and renting isn't really being free.
It's not. It's when you rent, it's
you're still under the same rich guy, right?
You're paying somebody else money.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, the same rich people. And they don't want you to effectively own anything. Like, if you don't own anything, it makes them more money.
If you don't own anything in America, then you're not, really powerful. You don't really have much of, I wouldn't say that you wouldn't have the same freedoms as someone who has property.
Yes, which means that, and then they have all these other things, the credit score and the social credit score, and they're just going to make it harder for people to actually own things. That way you're effectively only working and never spending, or always spending and always working and never saving. You'll never be able to keep your money because they're going to keep bringing taxes up.
Now, at a certain point, they're not going to be able to lower anything anymore or make the prices higher because there's so much crime. So what do? Next? You start building smart cities, right? You start tracking everybody's movements. So now you can crack down on the crime and then start replacing people.
Yeah. It's not even replacing people. It's just keeping people in place.
Yeah.
And not letting them move anywhere. It's just more control to get more money out of them, more of a work out of them. It's insane to me that this is allowed right now. And I think that the only way that we can actually fight back against this is that more people step up and start saying things. More people start speaking about what's going on that's wrong. Like, I have a friend of mine called me the other day. They have they're going on strike in Tennessee.
Okay.
And I think he still works for a major car manufacturer. But it's one of those things where there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff in the next few months. And we need to be pretty vigilant about what we want in our country. And we need to stand up and start speaking.
Exactly.
Right? And it's like when I feel a threat, I let them know really quickly. They'll hear what I know. I fight professionally. You know, I can't wait to go grapple later. I love choking people out. And then I'll put my hair up and they see my ear. And then they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't talk to this guy. Maybe we shouldn't mean mug him.
Right.
Right?
People are nicer.
Yeah, it's funny because once they think, if they think they can push you, you're a pushover and they can take what they want, they'll run over you. Huh?
Just like bullies.
Yeah. And that's what all of these liberals are. They're just using bully tactics. You just bully them back. Seriously, bully them right back. Yank that pink hair right out their head.
Right, because if you tell the principal, it just gets worse.
It does.
Usually.
Yep. So the whole thing is now you've seen police will effectively not do anything if someone is sitting there in traffic. But then you see in Italy, the people will get out of the car and grab those little protesters by their hair and drag them clear across the road.
And you saw what happened in Russia. They all got arrested real quick.
And I think one of them in Italy, they ran them over.
Oh my
Or
goodness.
was it Britain? Maybe it was Britain. They just ran them over. It's like, okay, well, people are getting tired. And then you've got now the COVID coming back around. What do you think about that?
It's just flu.
You going to wear a mask?
No.
You gonna get a shot?
No.
You getting the vax?
Especially because it hasn't been tested at all. I mean, it hasn't
Well,
even been 10
they're
years.
saying that it's tested. They said this new one's tested and it's
Have
okay.
you heard what Fauci's saying now? He said that he didn't say that everybody should go into a lockdown and that COVID was lethal.
Fauci is a demon. He smiles when he says it. He knows he's lying. He loves it. It tickles him. He gets off on the lie. He loves the fact that he's poisoned a lot of people. He loves that shit. He's a Satanist demon. And you know, everybody else is falling in line with his stuff. Go ahead, follow him. I ain't following that demon.
Okay. Are you ready for this? So this is from
I gotta get the cussing demon out of me today.
Romans chapter 2.
Dear Lord, please help me not cuss.
11 through 15. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. For God shows no partiality. For all who has sinned without the law will also perish without the law, and all who have sinned under the law will be judged by the law. For it is not the hearers of the law who are righteous before God, but the doers of the law who will be justified. For when Gentiles who do not have the law by nature do what the law requires, they are a law to themselves, even though they do not have the law. They show that the work of the law is written on their hearts, while their conscience also bears witness, and their conflicting thoughts accuse or even excuse them. On the day when, according to my gospel, God judges the secrets of men by Jesus Christ Jesus.
All right, so break that down for me.
Okay.
Because I'm an idiot. I don't know words very well.
So God shows no partiality.
What's
Now,
that mean?
Let's see what partiality.
Partiality. Does that mean he doesn't like partial things? He doesn't like partiality, partials. I don't even know. I don't even know what that means. See, I'm just an old country boy from Kansas. I don't know nothing. I didn't graduate nothing. I never did nothing ever. No. I like me some daters.
Partiality means there is prejudice or bias in favor of something, a special fondness, a predication. So God has no bias in favor of something. And it just talked about people who are sinning without the law also perish without the law, and all who have sinned under the law will be judged by the law.
Okay, but the law of the land or the law of God?
Now, it just says that the law of the heart. So,
that's a slippery slope, though.
Exactly.
Because if you say just the law of the heart, well, some people can say, well, in my heart, I felt like I needed to kill that guy. So, that's the law of my heart.
But their conscience also bears witness. And their conflicting thoughts accuse or even excuse them.
Okay, so tell me what that means.
So, that is something I cannot really question because it's God, right? But I will say that you who knows the law, right, of God, will have to follow it.
Okay.
And if you do not follow it, then you'll be judged accordingly.
Okay.
Now, for the same people who do not know the law, they will be judged accordingly.
So what you're saying is that if you don't know the Ten Commandments, if you weren't born into the Christianity and you didn't understand, and then you were to pass away, you were to die, and you lived a good life, you were kind to people, you helped other people out, but you didn't know God and you didn't know God's way.
Mm-hmm. But you still have His heart.
But you still have a kind heart.
And you have a conscience.
So then when you
that
pass...
was given by God.
So then when you pass, then you're allowed in the gates? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, you will be judged accordingly with no partiality.
Okay. That's interesting.
Because
but that means also that if you aren't following God, but you know what you're doing is sinful, then you're wrong.
Exactly.
Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. That was deep. Exactly. Right there. Man, I can understand that.
But the thing is, you're supposed to spread the message of Christ Jesus. So everybody's sins are forgiven through Him.
Yeah, and everybody does sin.
Exactly.
Mine has got to be... I should probably not try and pray for not cussing, but I should probably pray for...
forgiveness.
And patience.
But
Maybe patience forgiveness in the fact that I have been cussing, because I've always asked God to please help me not cuss, but I've never said please forgive me for cussing.
Right. And you're supposed to be asking for forgiveness through Christ Jesus.
So I should probably ask for forgiveness,
Right.
and then ask for strength not to cuss again when I get all heated.
But then he's gonna give you those heated moments
just to test me. Whoa, man! You know, I was never really super religious, and I never really read a lot, but I'm starting to read more, and I think it's really helped me. Like the days that I read, I don't cuss as much. Okay. I noticed that. Looking back now, the days that I read, I didn't, like today I didn't read. All I did was do my work today, and then I didn't do any reading. So that might have been an issue. Maybe I should read. We read.
Everybody's supposed to read.
Yeah, I know. But a lot of people don't agree with, our religion, and they have their own, and that's completely okay in America, because we live in a place that has freedom of religion, even if you want to be whatever you want to be.
And speech.
Yes, and that's another thing, is if we go ahead and do this whole, you want to go down the road of communism and fascism with the BLM and take away the guns and do all that stuff, well, you just have to go ahead and look at neighboring countries that have these issues. Argentina, places like that, where super inflations have happened, they can't afford bullets or guns. Places like that can be easily invaded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I think I've made a point that my coach used to say, expect the worst, but hope for the best.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And in the military, they say the same thing: expect the worst, but hope for the best. Plan for the worst scenario to happen, but hope for the best thing to happen.
And is that a good way to live?
I think it's a cautious way to live.
Okay.
So, for us, right, we plan for the worst. We work out together,
mm-hmm.
right? But we do that because you want to keep me healthy. But I do that to teach you, so you can defend yourself. If anybody comes up on you, I know that you can effectively choke them out, take them down, piece them up, whatever you need to do,
mm-hmm.
right?
Protect myself.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
So I put a lot of time and effort into knowing that you can protect yourself, and the reason why is because at some point, I won't be there. Like, I won't be there physically, right? And I want you to be able to take care of business. I want you to be healthy enough that if you have to fight for your country, that you're healthy enough to do so. That if you have to fight for your life, if you walk out that door and somebody tries to mess with you, and you can fight, then I know you can handle your business. You know what I mean? It's a security type thing.
Earlier you spoke of different countries, right? Like communism, socialism, and all of that, and how sometimes it goes against the First Amendment, right? And they have arguments that will go against our Constitution.
Trudeau.
Right?
Today, Trudeau. All we have to do is look north and look at Justin Trudeau. He had today, there were people outside his hotel that had fuck Trudeau signs on there, and they were holding him up, and Trudeau sent his security out there and beat them.
And that's not supposed to happen.
That's just right north in Canada. So
that's close to us.
It's creeping closer and closer.
Knocking on the front door.
It is. It's there. And we're only one generation from losing all our freedoms. And that terrifies me to no end. Because I love the fact that I can say what I want, do what I want. I love the fact that I can collect guns if I want to. I love the fact that I can find groups of people that want to do strange things that I want to do if I want to do them, type of thing. Which I don't. But I'm just saying, like, you have those freedoms to do that. If you want to be gay, you can be gay in America. If you want to be a trans person, you can be a trans person in America. But here's the thing. I'm not pushing anybody to be trans. I'm not pushing anybody to be me. I'm just trying to make, I am trying to show people what's going on in society today in maybe another way, and kind of open up eyes of what really is the crap going down. And then sit here with you and be able to politic it up and joke around and say some funny stuff and then read a little bit out of the Bible. It's a wonderful thing that we can do this, but if I lived in a communist country, we could be raided just for us having a podcast
and speaking out.
and speaking out about the the Biden crime family, or the Clinton crime family, or the Obama crime family.
And I
Like,
will end this on.
Did you hear about Obama's birth certificate?
No, I didn't really hear about it. What did?
Well, I heard
What was it
about 6 years ago they said it was fake.
It was fake.
It was a fake certificate.
Fake certificate.
Yeah.
So we had someone that isn't a full-blooded American up there.
Well, he wasn't.
Hey, there's a chance for me.
Citizen. There's a chance for you. Yeah.
There's a chance.
There's a chance for you
Definitely.
now. It's not a bad thing that he got to do it. I think it's a great thing because
I get a chance now.
yeah, because you were born in Japan
And I'm a dual citizen. So
and
come
he's
on,
a dual
hey.
citizen. What's up? We'll get you a fake Hawaii birth certificate.
Right, and you can make a manifesto, and I'll call it my father's memoirs. Right?
Yeah, I'll make the manifesto, and you can pay all your friends that you go to college with, and then they can get you connected to people above them, and then you can implement my book in order to destroy the country. Because I was a huge guy for communism.
But you aren't. So in
I'm
reality,
not. Oh no.
what we would do is we'll rebuild the country and make sure that the country is in a better state.
That's what I want to do because I'm a constitutionalist. I want everybody to have the same rights. Like I used to have friends that say, "Oh, I'm black, I can't carry a gun." I'd be like, "That's the reason why you should carry a gun is because that's your Second Amendment right."
Right.
He's like, "No, I'll get shot." No, you won't.
You know the
You
reason
will not
why
get shot.
during the Civil War, Black Americans they went into the North, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forget, Federalists.
No.
Anti-Federalists, right? No. What was it? I'm forgetting my history. I'm on the spot.
I'm waiting.
There was the Confederates and
Yep.
the
North, right? The North and the South.
North and the South. Yeah, there was
So
the
you had North and the
Confederates
South.
and the Federalists. No, Confederates and the. I got my phone for this reason. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm forgetting. You see, this is why phones are needed sometimes. I have to go.
We need Jamie.
Jamie? We do need
We
Jamie.
need Jamie.
We definitely need a
We
Jamie.
need Jamie. We need somebody that's a techie that can help us take us to new heights. Speaking of new heights, I kind of like their podcast. Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. I don't know why Travis Kelce would go after Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Ugh.
the Union.
She's like, the Union and the Confederacy.
In the Confederacy. That was
Taylor Swift is like a beanpole, dude. She
Wait.
doesn't have anything.
We're getting off topic.
Ugh, I would never even date her.
We're definitely getting off topic.
Oh yeah,
So,
you said Union
to
and
go
Confederacy.
against the
yeah.
Confederates, Black Americans would join the Union
Mhm.
to carry guns and to actually shoot the people who used to own them.
Well, okay. Well, here's another thing about that, though. There were also, what did you say? Black Union?
No,
Union. They
the
would go to the Union. Yeah. There were also Black Confederate officers as well.
Oh, what?
Well, not officers, but troops, and there might have been officers as well. Yeah, you'd have to look into the history of it. Everybody wanted to make it about race, and part of it was about race for a little bit, but a lot of it was about industrialism and farmers.
And not just that, there was states, rights for states and rights for the central government.
Yeah.
That was the other argument.
And there was a lot of stuff going on. It was a lot of like, they had women working in factories coming from rural towns and then working in like slum factories, like almost slave labor, kind of like China and their sweatshops now.
Yeah, definitely. They were indentured servants half
Pretty
the time.
much, and that's kind of where we're like how I feel now.
That this society is going towards, or
Yes,
already
that-
in.
Kind of moving towards because taxes is so high and we're taxed on everything.
And
Like
taxes,
You're taxed
we
when you pee
revolted
and you flush
because
the
of
toilet. You're taxed.
we revolted because of tax. So
I think we're like 40% or something like that. Is it 40 or 60? 40.
it's going higher.
It's 40, like 46%, I think.
It's getting higher.
And it's nuts.
Yeah.
When the reason why it gets higher is because the normies,
Uh-huh.
the normal poor people, the ones that are like me, and that grew up on the other side of the tracks. We're starting to come up, and they don't want us to come up. They want us to shut up and go back to work and die early. They want us on an early grave so they can tax all the stuff we owned, so when we pass it over to our family too.
So it's you're in more debt. I
It's
think
it's a
that's a
crappy
good
game,
topic
dude.
that we could get to.
Next
And this
time.
will be a really long one. But
Yeah.
I will give one tip to Trump, right? Which is by Mark Twain's words. Mark Twain. Ready? Do not argue with stupid people because they will bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. Now, that is something that Trump needs to understand, especially when it comes to being online and Twitter and all those things.
Yes.
Because his problems comes from swooping down to other people's levels.
Yeah,
when he's the president.
He needs to rise above, but at the same time, it also is the reason. That's what he is, though. That's who he is, though. That's who President Trump is. He's that guy that's going to tell you, you're all jacked up. You're all jacked up and you're wrong. You're wrong, you're fired. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.
I think there was a show where he actually fired people in his company.
Can you imagine him,
doing a show with the government?
Just with Joe Biden, dude. If he gets up there and he's like, let me talk to you, Joe. Let me tell you, Joe. I've been waiting for this for a long time, Joe. We've got all the evidence, Joe. Guess what, Joe? You're fired, Joe.
That would be crazy.
Epic.
That would be another meme.
You
are fired.
You're fired, Joe.
Fired. Get out of this.
As a matter of fact, let's just run down it like this really quick. I want to say one thing, and I've got this on my Facebook, and it's going to be really fast because I posted on my Facebook. By the way, it's private, so don't try to get on it. But I posted it on my Facebook, and here it is. And this is something that I think needed to be said here, and I have to make sure I find it. It's where's Isaac?
Don't put names out there yet.
Oh well, they don't know who it is, so it's okay.
They're gonna check your friends list.
No, they can't because it's private, and I only keep it private. So here we go. So the president of El Salvador put Joe Biden on blast on Twitter, and it says the most powerful country in the world is falling fast, so fast that it makes you rethink what are the reasons something so big and powerful can't be destroyed so quickly unless the enemy comes from within. That's Joe Biden. And then
what was his name?
He's the president of El Salvador.
Okay.
And so I put here, and it's Nayib Bukele. I'm sorry, I butchered the name. But then I put, okay, let's put those traitors on blast. So, Joe Biden, right? Nancy Pelosi, right? Schiff, all kinds of stuff.
Just name off the list.
There's so many of them.
Let me read it.
So
JB, NC, BO, CF, LF, BO, HC, BC, JB, JBS, KM, H, Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
BG, AF are traders.
Yep. And if you know those initials for all of those names, they're all in our government, and they're all traitors, and they've all accepted money, and they need to be cleansed of our tree of freedom. They need to be taken out of their position. I don't mean killed. I did not say that. They need to be removed from their positions.
Fired.
Stripped from their lands and
you
titles.
Are fired.
Fired. We do not want you leading a country anymore because you led this one almost into the ground. I'm hoping that what's that the Republican from Texas with the bald head? What's his name? I can't remember, but he's really awesome. And they did that indictment for Trump, that's for Biden. I
think that's for next time.
For Biden,
definitely.
Those guys.
I actually have.
And Bobert. What's her name? Bobert. She's hot. She's so hot. She's hot.
But let's
hot.
end this podcast now. This is episode 48 of the Generational Podcast, and we'll see you next time on 49. Goodbye.